One of the things I love most about seeing somebody with MMA experience is how they'll take like simple holds that you see in wrestling every day, like a rear chin lock. And if an MMA fighter's doing it, you'll see them adjust it to where it's more like a jaw lock or a rear naked choke. You'll see them like throw a hook in as opposed, or just put a foot in front of the hip. That way the opponent can't sit out. Things that maybe you don't see from people who don't train that, where you're looking at them and you're like, well, why wouldn't they sit out? Why wouldn't they turn into it? Why wouldn't they try to rock backwards or anything like that? I know that you were doing pro wrestling well before most people knew about you in MMA, but like, what parts of MMA have you taken and applied to pro wrestling that are common sense to you, but maybe aren't widespread in wrestling?
Yeah, if you watch a lot of my matches, after it's simple stuff like if I hit a move and the opponent kicks out, a lot of times I'll immediately go to a hold. You know what I mean? I'll transition into a hold. I very rarely make covers without cradling or grabbing an arm like I'm going to move to the next thing, because that's what I would do in a realistic situation. One of the things that I realized pretty early on when I started, back on the scene wrestling was that, there's all these guys who can do high flying. There's all these guys who can do, creative, spots on the mat, big head drops and stuff like that. But I can't do that stuff. Like, I can't go out there and do a backflip. I wish I could, but I can't. So I had to do stuff that's different. And one of the things that's different is if you watch guys make covers, they'll like,
no weight on the shoulders.
You want somebody to believe that you're trying to win this contest. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to actually act like you're trying to win. You've got to put your weight on them. You've got to cradle them. You've got to try to pin them. You know how hard it is to pin somebody for 3 seconds? It's very hard. You'd be flopping around like a fish, even if they're, on Dream Street. So, like, that's one of the things that I think I do it's better than what most people do, because it's more realistic.